Good day, folks. Welcome back to another tying video. Here we are going to tie up a holographic Kromie. So I've got an Alec Jackson covert nymph hook in the vise along with a black nickel bead, and I'm using some black Semperfli 8/0 tying thread. So as per usual, I'm just going to tie in some gill material here. So a few wraps with the thread. Then I'll come in with the uni stretch, lock that in, a couple wraps in front to prop it up, and then we can get rid of that excess. And then from there we just throw in a whip finish. So then we'll slide that bead back up, and not super important, but you'll notice there's a little bit of that thread sticking out past the bead. As long as you do that, you don't have to worry about gluing that section and having your gills come out, because once you tie back in, you're going to lock on top of it, and that'll kind of trap it from going anywhere. So I've retied in, and when I did that, I only came back one bead length. And so this is the one bead, two bead, three bead method. So I come one bead, then I go two beads, come back up, and I'm just putting each wrap right in front of the next. And now I'll go down another bead, about like that, come back up. And if you just keep each wrap in front of the other, you see you've built a very consistent taper. And if you do that on every bug you tie, then you'll keep them nice and consistent. So from there, I'm going to grab some 0.1 millimeter wire. It's also extra small. And then same thing, just nice clean wraps. And when you get to the back, if you stop each cron right where that barb is, then you will end up with consistent sizing to your chronomids. This is a size 14 hook, so if I was to say short tie this and then long tie a 16, although I've got two different hooks, I'm going to have the same size bug. So this just keeps everything consistent. And now I've got some holographic silver flashabou, and if you prefer, you can use tinsel for this. So all I do is just double over the material like that, slide it down to the bottom, and then with a couple wraps I can have it locked in. Now I'm just going to nice and smoothly come back up the hook like so. I've got a nicely tapered body. My materials are ready to wrap. So I'll start with my flashabou, and I'm just going to wrap this up, trying to just kind of overlap a little bit with each wrap, just trying to cover up all that black thread. If you miss a spot here and there, don't be too concerned. Fish are not that picky. So we'll get that right up to behind the bead, and then come over the top with one or two wraps, pull it back, lock it in, and then get in tight with some good scissors and trim out that excess. Now, because I wrapped away from me with my body material, I'm just going to counter rib my wire. So I'm going the opposite direction. Something like that. The only reason I do that is with this small wire, it can tend to kind of bury itself in the little ridges that the flashabou will create, or tinsel. So just makes it a little bit easier to work with, and put your ribs right where you want. And you're just shooting for 6 to 7 ribs, and then from there come on in with a whip finisher. 3 or 4 turns is all you need. Trim out the thread. Trim the gills about the same size as the bead. Kind of like so. And that's all there is to it. So that is the silver holographic Kromie. Pretty easy bug to tie, but definitely one you want to have in the box. So that's all there is to that one. Thanks very much for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't. And until the next one, cheers and tight lines.